Not here. I hope you're here soon, but it's Jayne from Living Skies Coloring Creative and Vintage, here to do some more watercoloring in the Gugeli book, Find Color. And this is the Red Sails in the Sunset page, as that I'm calling it at the moment. So let's get going. Get your watercolor paints out. Come on in to chat and talk with me, and we'll see what's going on, and I'll just start painting here. So come on in. Just getting my channel up on the screen so I can see what's going on. There I am. And here we go. I'm just going to maybe see if I can make that a little closer these days. There we go. So you can kind of see more of what I'm doing. And I'm going to be doing some more work on the wood here. Let me just get this out of the way. And there we go. So how's everybody doing today? Hello, Lori. Hey, Jimmy. How are you? Thank you, baby. That's my son, Jim. Come in to see me. And how you doing today, Lori? Just having a sip of coffee here. While I kind of get myself a little less discombobulated. Oh, there's my brushes. I was working on the dragon page, getting that all prepped for paint. I was putting in some masking fluid. That's what all that blue stuff is. And I'll be doing some of that with watercolor too. But that's the buddy color that we decided on the other day with View and Devon. You didn't miss anything, Jimmy. Almost. Hey, View, how are you? Yes. Did you see? I got started there. And just if you didn't hear, that's my son Jim that's in the chat right now. He's coming to watch my live. So I'm just going to get a brush out and continue. Oh, there it is. That's the one I had the other day. Continue with doing some of the woodwork on the boat here. Let me just grab my little palette. I have my water up here. Ah. I hope you didn't get stabbed, though, View. Oh, and thank you, sweetheart. Sweetheart meaning sweetheart View, and then... Ah, no, you didn't raise me well. He has that same sarcastic humor that I have, though, guys, so be careful. So what did you stab yourself with, or why do you feel like you got stabbed there, View? And let me get started with some watercoloring here. I'll just pick up some paint. So again, I'm just kind of trying to continue with some of the woodwork on the boats. And this little piece of wood back here, these ones, I should say, kind of got missed. It might be a little too dark, but I'm going to just take my cloth and there, take some of that brightness away, and then I'll just continue with this on the other side. Oh. Well, take care of yourself, View. My finger's getting better. They haven't said they found anything with that yet. It's just some final healing left to be done on the knuckle. It's not too bad, just a little scabby and itchy. Anyways, let me pull my book over a little bit because I'm going to work on this boat here. And there, that you'll be able to see it a little bit better. Again, just trying to bring some more color definition into some of this wood here. In watercolor, it's layer by layer by layer. So it is a little, it's finicky to a certain extent. You have to have some patience. Yes, I have been putting some on it regularly, so I will be putting more on it. I just forgot to do it before I got on. It's getting, but like I say, it's just getting a little itchy, which is good, because it means it's healing. At least that's what I tell myself. It looks fine. It's getting better, and I can see that it's not as big a knuckle as it was before I got the cyst removed. There we go. That's giving me some definition, and just take some of it away. There. And I don't know if you can still see it, but I can. And this is just the boat in the back, and I'm just going to do a little less on there, and just this will all look a little more faded as it dries. So have you gotten started on your dragon page view, or are you procrastinating? And I saw your post about the Sarah Shefchick Spooky Cat books. Yes, I have to watch her video though yet. I haven't seen it. Yes, you have been on a whip attack. That's for sure. Trying to get some things done. I know the feeling. Okay, I want to come in on these a little more. Let's see if I can, maybe not quite that dark. Water that down a little more. No kidding. No kidding, View. I like that saying. Ants around syrup. Can never get rid of them. There we go. That's a little better. That's looking a little bit more like this would, which is what the intent was. And then I'm going to go back and do some of the not flagpoles. Oh my goodness. The ship sail posts. Oh my goodness. I don't have that word in my head at the moment. It'll come to me at some point. They usually do. And this one that I can kind of have a little more play on, I'm not coloring it in completely with that color. I'm trying to give it a little bit of a wood grain similar to what I had done over here. Because this one's a little closer, so you might be able to see it. Or I want to darken it. Get some more color on there. Build it up, build it up, build it up. My son doesn't usually have Masts. Thank you, Janice. Oh, thank you for being here too. I didn't see you here. Come in. Ships masts, and it's such a simple work. Oh. Do you ever have a brain that, like mine, works like that every once in a while? Just can't find it. Something simple. Mom brain, minnow brain, all of that stuff. My son knows what I'm talking about. I go through a list of words before I get to the right one half the time. Okay, did that. I'm going to come back over there with that guy too. Thanks, Janice. Thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm glad you could join me on your break. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to pull the book down here a little bit. See if I can get it in the right spot so you guys can see it. And we'll work on the masts and this little house over here. Again, I'm not doing any exciting colors with all this. It's just kind of all brown, but for now we're just building up the layers. Getting some texture in there, some shapes. And as you keep building up and not landing on exactly the same place, all of a sudden it starts looking like a building for some strange reason. Actually, it's not that strange. It's our brains. Did you know that? Our brains are always trying to make sense of whatever we're looking at. That's why when sometimes you look at spots on the wall, you can see like a picture that you would recognize, or a face, something like that. It's got to do with being kind of more prey than predator at times. And we're always trying to find a face or a shape in whatever we're looking at, because it's good for us in one way or another, either to run away from or to catch. There we go. That doesn't look like I've done much there, but I can see a difference. Oh, your treat with some boudin de pain. Boudin de pain. I'm trying to pronounce it in French. There is a Latin restaurant near the hospital. Yeah. I'm not averse to images of certain types. I like some pages obviously better than others, but I'm willing to do most, if not all, pages. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of this blue to my brown to darken it a touch. I think I actually need to get a little more. So let me get my paint out here. That's the one. The blue that I'm using in the Kuretake Gansai Tambi set is the and I had my charts here. What did I do with them? I believe that this is the Payne's gray one, or the indigo blue I'm adding to this, or adding brown to my indigo to my brown, and a little bit a little bit of a red in there now too, because that was on the my palette. So I'm kind of mixing up this color here to use on the mass. I've taken a little bit of my brown. There we go. Some of that blue, and there I had some red on here already. So I'm just mixing it all in. Oh, that sounds delicious. Christine comment. Oh, really? What did you say to her? Was that the one where you're telling her that she needed to do some more pictures? I don't remember. You can get pretty sassy sometimes, View. So I'm not even pulling this down. I'm just actually using the flat edge of this paintbrush to create the line just by dabbing, because I don't want to make it too dark. Now, you may think that I have forgotten to do the crossbars of the sails, but I want the sails crossbars in front of this, and I'm going to be making it a little bit lighter if I can. Joanna's probably mad at you. Okay. Have you been writing Joanna too? That's the lady. Yes. I remember that comment now. I'm just going to soften that because it was maybe just a touch too dark by putting some water on it. And do a little bit of that. Let's see if I can fix that yet. We were tired of all those flowers. She listened. Oh. And some dragons. Oh. That'd be fun. You know, I guess if you never say anything, you'll never get what you want. Only get what you want. As Mick says, we try sometimes. Oh, you get what you need. I'm not the best singer, but you get the idea. There. Now that just looks like a hint behind there. And I will finish off the rest of that mast with this color. I probably should be not doing these right now, actually, because I thought I was going to do a little more with the sky, but let me think about that. Might have to switch gears here real fast and do my sky first, because I almost forgot. Yeah, I think I'm going to switch it up just because it's going to be easier to get a little bit closer to the masts before I paint them black, and it won't all smear all over the place. So the sky, I had actually used some very watered down cerulean, I believe. We're just going to put that over in here. Yeah, that looks like the one. And I'm just going to get a little more water in there. So I get, and just explain to people that, hey, yo, land! Yo, land! anyways, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. If I haven't, for those that haven't heard me before, I usually take some paint from my paint pans here and move it over to this palette where I can add some water and such, and then work that way. And I think I'm going to get a little bit different. This one. Changing my watercolor brush out to this one that's got a little more pointy tip because I'm going to be working around all those little areas there. There we go. So you didn't miss too much, Devin. I was just did a little more woodwork on the front of the ships, and now I'm going to do some more work on my sky. But I have my dragon page all mashed there. See? And I'll be getting to watercoloring that soon, I hope. Put that back in there. That back here. Cat hair. There we go. Alrighty. Oh, you know what? I gotta take some pictures. I have a bunch of things to post on IG that I've actually got done for a bunch of different hashtags. And I should do the Kirby Dragon Eye. But this and that other dragon one will keep me busy. We'll see. I might be able to do two. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm just going to play, trying to get my paint a little closer to some of these details. And if I want some more color, I'm just going to dab it in and let the water take it. But I'm not going to add a lot of water, just enough to let it flow. And then get just a little more. You don't have a whip of it. Oh, is she? Okay. Great. She's gonna join in on the Kirby Dragon Eye. Joanne is perfect. She's been doing a lot of ATC cards lately, and trading them with chickens. They're so funny. They're so cute too. There's lots of fun to see on IG, but even cuter in person. As always, things look way better when you see them in person. Now, I'm not going to worry too much if this looks a little blotchy. Oh, the Gugeli Dragon page. Wow. I wasn't sure if she had that book or not. Joanne's got a lot of books. She's been very kind in actually gifting me some of them that she finds that she has doubles of. Or that she just finds she's not gonna get to. So I am more than happy. And some of them I actually pass along to my granddaughter, because she's a little budding artist also. There we go. And what I was saying about if the blue looks a little patchy, I just think it looks like my skies. Joanne doesn't have a channel. She has an IG IG page, and I think it's Joanne Newman 4967, something like that. She comes to Dee Dee's morning sessions, usually view. You can see her there. So she'll end up posting on Instagram more than likely. But we all do at some point, don't we? There. I should show you this one. This is the one that I was talking to you guys about when we were talking about dragons the other day, the Coloring Heaven Dragon Special. And this was, oh, my first page. Okay, so I did this page in 2020. And the reason I did this one is because it was the Australian dragon, and they had all those, you can't even see it. You had all those fires back then in Australia. So I added these dark trees, black trees, and made it look like there was fire behind the dragon. And I believe, yes, I put the kind of moon up there. Oh, I can do that, Devin. Add as a moderator. There you go. So anyway, so yeah, that was I haven't really. I started to do some acrylic backgrounds in some of it to get started on some pages, but I never did get very far. See, I have some whips too. Actually, I just found those. From when I pulled this book out. It's been kind of hiding for a while. So yeah, I've had it for about 6 or 7 years. There you go. So I made you a mod, Devin. Hopefully you're still there. Yeah. Okay. I'm get back to painting then. Get this. And put some more sky in here. Oh, it's maybe a little too dark. Spread that out with some water. So yeah, that'll be fun. Get a whole bunch of us in doing pages in this book. It would be so nice to even contact, if we could, at some point, if they had a whole bunch of pictures. Gugeli, and just kind of send them. There you go. Because I'm very pleased so far with how this book is turning out. So let me just get up here. I tried to zoom in a little bit more because the other day I thought it was just too far out. How's that? Better? I guess I'm way up the top and you can't see what's going on up at the top of the page. So I don't want to zoom it out too much. There we go. How's about that? Thank you, Joanne. We were just talking about you. Were your ears burning? Devin says you're going to join us and paint in this book on the dragon page. Devin and I and you and view. That's too bad, Lori. It would be fun if we could all do that. The more the merrier, I say. We haven't made a completion date, so, and knowing view, it may be a while. I'm teasing you, view. I'm not saying anything about you that you haven't said yourself. Yeah, there. Just trying to bring some of this color a little closer to my edges here, because it just looks like it's just squared out. So this will just give it a little more of the sky, a little more of a cloudy texture, I think. I am not a teacher, but I play one on YouTube. Here we go. So there. Just bringing that. I'm sorry, I get concentrating and I stop talking, and I shouldn't do that. I have to practice continually talking so that my friends will stay entertained. That, or you can entertain yourselves while I stick my tongue between my teeth on a sideways channel. Oh, in the green book. Well, it's the same quality paper and the same type of drawing, so I don't know that I'm any braver than you are. You've jumped in if you're starting to do it. And I see Dee Dee was watercoloring today. What, everybody's getting into watercoloring now again. That's good. I'm just spreading some water in this area here because I want to just let the paint flow a little bit in this larger area. Kind of just give it a little bit of different texture than me painting it in. Kind of similar to what I had done before, but just another layer. There. And that's similar, this is similar to what Dee Dee was doing this morning too, when she was laying in the pink on her axolotl, the dark pink, or was it on the hippopotamus? This is the Kuretake Gansai Tambi set that I've got, Joanne. The 48s. Got a nice range of colors. And I'm really loving the actual paints. They're really nice. Just doubling that in there a little bit. Doubling, that's a new word. I make things up, I do. If I just add a little water in there, that'll just soften all of that. There we go. Looking like clouds. It was awesome. Oh, forgetting my water up here. Here. Our Dee Dee's on that hour earlier now, so I don't catch her quite as early, and then by the time I get to work and kind of deal with things, sometimes I don't get to get on quite as fast as I would like to see what's going on. But that's all right. I do when I can when I can. And then if I can't, I can always rewatch, just like all you lovely people. After you woke, oh, after you had your biopsy, okay. Oh, Views has that book, Joanne. That's the new watercolor, the new paint and play. Is that's what it's called? View has that book, and she was talking about the paper. She was saying that it's very much like watercolor paper. Am I right? Well, it shouldn't be your fault, Devin. You don't have to wake up to an alarm, and if Lucy wants to sleep in, well, there you go. Yes. Yes, that extra hour to get up is very difficult. I'm up at 7, but it takes me a little while to get myself ready to go. And of course, then I got to deal with the cat, because he's either wanting outside or inside, and food. It's very nice here today. Actually, it's only it's 0 when I was coming home a couple of hours ago. The paper is watercolorish. Okay. All right, Joanne. I won't tell you say any more about that. We'll just leave it to where it is. But you're right. You don't need to be enabled. But I guess there's a lot of I won't say, no, maybe I shouldn't say a lot. There's a number of pages that are repeats of previous coloring books. Yes, Joanne, I do know how many books you have, and I was telling these people what a lovely person you are sharing them with me. I haven't counted Joanne's books. I don't know if she's counted her books, but she has them all proudly on display. Watercolor-ish. Yeah. Well, View, you have this book. Oh, you did. Good for you, Joanne. But View, you have this book that I have in front of me. How would you compare the Camilla's book to this one? For like watercolor. Yeah, I would imagine you did. $91 degrees? Oh my goodness. We still got snow outside. Though it's a beautiful day, isn't it, Joanne? It's zero, or was zero, and the sun is shining. Doesn't look like we're gonna get, knock on wood, a lot more of the really cold snowy days. But yeah, that's awfully warm. Mind you, I talk to people that have channels in the States, and you know, it's just amazing the difference, even just across the border, that is compared to us here in Saskatoon, and you too out there in Alberta, there, Devon. Oops, that's what I'm looking for, is my paint. Okay. All right. So I know what it's like then. Oh, it's definitely on the way, Joanne. I think spring's on the way. It's not going to get really cold anymore. Not that it's been really cold, knock on wood. Like, when I say really cold, I'm talking about -40, -30. Though we did have that -20 something the other day, which felt pretty cold. Anytime the wind blows, it always feels cold. So I decided I should come on today, by the way, because I'm not going to be around on the weekend. I've been trying to do a Saturday or Sunday live lately, and I am actually taking off, trekking through the mountains over to BC, through Alberta, over to the next province, which is British Columbia, BC, and I'm leaving early Friday morning to do that. Driving my son, my daughter, and her two children, and myself, and we are driving off to, and shh, don't say anything, it's a secret, off to visit my mom and dad in Oliver, BC, because it is their 70th, 70 wedding anniversary. Actually, it's on the 17th, St. Patty's Day, but because the 17th is the middle of the week, we decided to convene the weekend before, and it's a surprise. So all of the kids, the grandkids, um, my dad's brother, and some nieces and nephews of my mom and dad, and yeah, it's all a big surprise. So I hope it's going to work. And yes, I'm pretty sure the roads are going to be okay. My little car is pretty good. And I still have the studded winter tires on it, so I'm not too scared about all that. And because we're traveling, we're actually taking two vehicles, so we'll be traveling tandem. And so yes, that'll work out good. So drive there on Friday. Quick turnaround because I'm driving home on Sunday. But if it's too tough, we're probably gonna stop midway, like around Calgary, and then sleep and then get up Monday morning and finish the trip. Because it's a long drive. It's about a 12, 13 hour drive, I think. So that's that's where I'm going to be on the weekend. And yeah, keeping doing that, looking forward to that, and I have to tell you all about it when I get back. Okay, now that I've done the blue, that's not too wet, so because I had put water on there, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't too wet, because if I start doing this, and it's just going to spread all over the place if I'm not careful. So there you go. I think it'll be great. We're actually the supper that we're going out to on the Saturday night. We were going to go up to their golf club that they are members at, but they're having some renovations. So instead, we're going up to the Tin Horn Winery. Now, where they live in Oliver, that's the heart of wine country in BC, all the way up from the south part where Osoyoos is, goes all the way up to Penticton, and that is like hot and dry and great for grapes, and there are so many wineries there. If you guys ever go to the Okanagan Valley, that's one thing you need to do, is go on a wine tour, because it's so much fun. Because they've all got tasting rooms. And you can go and try, sometimes they're free, sometimes, you're only spending $1 or $2 per glass. Just make sure you have a designated driver, which is what we usually do, is get one person to be the designated driver, and then you can go from winery to winery, and it's a lot of fun after you hit 5 or 6 of them. Now, the other thing that they have now is also a new venture, I should say, by the local band, Indigenous band, and it's called the Wine Village. And what they have there is actually, there's probably 12 to 15 different little stations, and they're small, like little storefronts with only a table or two inside and a bar where they can serve the wine, and then outside, because it's made in a circle, they've got tables right outside each of the storefronts that you can sit at during the summer, and then some pools of water and an entertainment area right in the middle where they have bands, or they have art displays, or they'll hold dances. And then all of these wine merchants are in these little buildings surrounding the place. You can go and get your wine as you need it. So that's another thing that you can do there. Just make that a little less. Don't want it too dark. I just want it to be barely seen. So I'm just going to do a little dots here. Dots there. I can see it in behind my sails, just a little bit of the gray printing. Oh, I'm using kind of both methods. When I did, and I'll show you something here, Joanne. If you, and you can go and see this. I did this one. I did this watercolor, and all of the background I started with wet on wet, and I had done masking fluid on the water nymph and the leaves, and then I took that off and did kind of a more of a wet on dry for her and the leaves as I was going along. But I would add water as I see fit if I want to make things flow. And I started kind of the same way with this, where I did just basically a wet on wet with the blues, in here with this kind of based out in that red and the green, a little bit of blue in her hair, and was much the same kind of a yellowish brownish background of the actual ships. And I've been adding layers. So I've got, I think this is the third session that I've gone live to work on this page. And then I put it out again. Make sure you see it. But the wet on wet works really well. Like it, let me just, instead of playing with the camera, so you can kind of see even, and I don't have the granulating Gansai Tambi. This is just the regular paint, and that's wet on wet, got that going because I wanted that little bit of a texture there. And then this is wet on dry that I've added over top to get that extra. Thank you. So yeah, it's all in the layers and the playing, and you can see I'm just adding just a touch, and I'm going to add a little more water to that. Because I don't want it to be too prominent, too solid. By the time that dries, hopefully it'll be kind of faded like that. Okay. Thank you, Joanne. And hey, I think we're all learning as we go. We all just try different things that, other people have tried and passed along, that we've maybe seen the method. Doing what I'm doing is not new. I think it's just the way how you apply it. Yes, it and the paper loves it. The paper loves it. So yeah, I like getting that effect in my skies and my background. Sometimes you can't really use it too much in other things. I need to do more brown highlights in there. I'll catch that when I do some more. Do the struts on the masts. Say that. Masts. Oh, Joanne, you flatter me. You all flatter me. Maybe one day I'll take it out there. I actually have sold a couple of collages. I've been thinking about maybe posting some of my just watercolors. Now, why does that post look like it's going sideways a little bit? So we're just gonna do that. Might be just because of the way that the reflection is on it in the or the sunlight comes through on the sail. There we go. Thank you, Joanne. So I'm going to keep doing with these. I'm glad you guys are all come. I'm really trying to get my views up here. So I'm going to try and start doing, well, I've been trying to do the once during the weekends, which I've already told you I won't be able to do this weekend. And that's why I'm doing it today. But I would like to take one day out of the week, and it might be Mondays or Wednesdays. And I may just be able to do, now that they're on a little earlier, I might be able to go on after Janet and or Ann and Devin go on those days. I don't like rushing home to get that necessarily done. There we go. That's better. And so then I can do 2 days a week and try and keep going that way. So, anyways, that's a possible plan, Stan. My little Etsy shop. I've had to pack up a couple of things the last few days. That's good. People are still looking for vintage items, vintage jewelry. That's what I like to have in my shop. I have. That's why I'm coloring creative and vintage. I like the weird, the wonderful, the unusual. I love anything Asian. A lot of my things that I have in my house, I've picked up while thrifting. Now these long poles with the lanterns, I think they're going to be kind of the same stuff that these are. Which is, I think, going to be a darker wood, not a metal. Metal is going to be more up there. So I'm going to stick with this little dark mixture that I started with. Just base it in. I've got a little bit left here. Just get some of that color in. A little more water. There. Stick those hairs together. Just get that in. Get that in. You see, it's not black. Never put anything in too dark at first, unless I'm doing... Thanks, Lent. I'll see you soon, I hope. Okay, thanks, Lori. Thanks for dropping by. Glad y'all can come. I'm so happy that anybody stops by at any time for as long as they can. It is, I know how hard it is to watch everybody that you love all and keep up with all of those videos. And I keep adding more. We'll see you soon, Lori. Okay, just I want to do this. I know it's getting near. Yeah, it's got a little bit time yet before I have to start making some supper. It's just getting on to 4 o'clock, or just after 4 o'clock here. I got those. I can maybe just darken that a touch. This won't be getting a lot of paint in here. Because like I said before, things in the different distance turn a little gray. And they're a little fuzzier, so they're not as detailed. Okay. let's go back to, oh, I think I'm going to put a little bit in on those, just a touch on that. I was trying to get a lot of water and not so much paint for these last ones, because I don't think that this pole is going to be very dark behind here, and I just want to put more of a hint of a shadow behind on the sail. There we go. It's not going to be very dark by the time it's done, but it will add something to the picture. I know it will. Okay, there. Oh, okay, hold on. That one. $48 Kuretake Gansai Tambi. Yep. And it's just the straight watercolors. It's not granulating or anything like that. It's just the straight watercolors that I've used. I'm going to use some of my opalescence from Kuretake and some of the gem colors, I think, in their clothing and some of the finishing touches that I want to do on the water. Oh, good, Joanne. There you go. It's a good book to start to watercoloring, because the paint or the paper is pretty forgiving, and is really loves the paint. Okay, I'm just getting a little more brown. I want to get back in here with some of this railing and that, and pick at it a little bit more with some more details before I keep going in. And I should darken those oars a little bit too. So, and I won't stay on for, what have I got? It's almost 4:15. Yeah. I might go till 5, but then I gotta start maybe getting some supper together. So I had already gone down here, but I'm gonna do this again on this area because I want this to be darker. I'm going to use my water and pull that paint a little further than that, even down to there. And I'm just using, is there a number on this brush? No, but it's just a long, round brush. I don't know what the different tips are called, you know, filberts or whatever. I think that's a nut, actually, a filbert. Could be the end of a brush tip. But I kind of go round, the one that's square, the one you can make dots with. And actually you can make a dot with any paintbrush you have. I just use the end, this end. Where's my, oh, moved way over there. Oh, guess what else? So last night I was out having sushi with my brother-in-law and his significant other. enjoying myself, having a good time, and the crown on one of my teeth came off. Thank goodness I didn't swallow it or crunch it, so I've got it. Got it in a little pill bottle. And tomorrow morning I'm going to go back to the dentist and he's going to attach it back in my head before I go out to that do in BC. Because you know, for a 7-0 wedding, okay, you know, for a 70th wedding anniversary, they're going to be taking pictures. And I don't need to have my picture taken with a snaggletooth because the post is still in my mouth and the actual tooth is in my purse. So, yeah. Why do things always happen at the most inopportune times, you know? Maybe it's just the way we feel that it's inopportune, but definitely inopportune. Yeah, Joanne, just one more thing that I had to add to my list of things to do already. So anyways, I did phone them first thing this morning. I can get in tomorrow at 8:30 and get that done before I go to work for 9. Well, hey Ivy, how are you? Nice to see you. Glad you could come and visit. I'm working on some watercoloring in my book here. Find Color by Gugeli. So, yeah, I want to add a little more brown to this fence and fence posts on, what's that, an extra hair on this front boat here. These things, these little stylized jobbers here. Yes, I am very lucky I could get in to see him, but thank goodness he's not really going to have to do anything. It's not like it doesn't hurt me. Really, essentially, he just has to glue it in. And that's what they do, is they glue it in. The post is there. Now, I could have done it too, but I didn't think that putting super glue in my mouth would be a good idea. I swear the stuff they use, though, is very similar to super glue. It sure does smell like it. It's probably got some of the same properties. Yeah, Ivy, you do have to be patient with your watercolor and just work on it slowly. You know, not too much water at a time. Now, this is a good book. It is stitch bound, and the paper quality is wonderful. So that's why this one is a good one to get watercoloring in if that's what you want to try. Like I said, I'm just trying to put a few more strokes on here. I will add the more dimension it will seem to have when I am done. You know what? That's called bossus interruptus, Janice, and it happens all the time. You are more than excused for that. I've had that happen to me lots, where you just kind of have to jump off and answer their question, because they need you. They need you then. So I'm not sure what all of these look like exactly, but I'm just trying to go with the lines, give the impression of some wood cutouts being there, and with the different colors creating some kind of shadows and pattern. Yeah, I loved using the water mediums too. And that's actually a good idea if you have the books on hand. I know there's a lot of artists too where you can actually just buy their PDFs at a much lower price than their books, and then print what you want. And then if you have you don't necessarily even have to buy all of the pages, I don't think. So let's get some more of these guys done here. These books, the Gugeli books, I think they've been available on Amazon for a while. I was able to get them in Amazon Canada, but they were shipping from China. And actually, I think I found not this book, but the red one, no, the green one, online for 68. That included free shipping. So, but I said to myself, I have enough at the moment to get done. I love these books, but I do want to try and get more done before I start buying some more books. There's a few out there, and these ones are expensive. Oh, at Cool Craft. Okay. Yeah, this I think I got. Well, I know I saw it on Dee Dee's channel, and I think I started on it. I don't think I dated it. No, I didn't. I think I started it in 25. Early 25. I'd have to go back to my Instagram pages and look at all the ones that I've posted to see. I have a number of items I should post soon too. I forget sometimes to put things up. But you guys don't want to see all my stuff all the time, so go. A little color in there, a little more color in there. Darken that again. Trying to keep my eye on the chat while I'm working on this. So what else is happening? Let me see. So I talked about my tooth. Talked about my trip. Don't know. Oh. Well. Got some good news from the federal government about some tax stuff. So that's good for me. Sorry guys, I'm thinking in my head instead of thinking out loud. Okay. A little bit more. I want to now I should say, Joanne, that not all my colors that I use in here are straight from the box. Because what I do is I end up putting colors that I use in here, and I will mix some together, like to make this brown. That's some of this brown that was there, and some of that blue, and a little bit of red that was still on the middle part. And now it's kind of this muddy brown color that I want to use for shadows. So this muddy brown color doesn't exist in that palette. That's this part. There we go. And I want to put some of this dark in here. In that doorway, like so, like so. And I'm just making some rough rectangles here to represent those windows that are there. The drawing's much better than my paint. I'm just trying to add some lines so it looks water paintery. It's better. A little bit of this red color because I want to make that not so muddy. More of that color. There we go. A little more of that color instead. Again, still just trying to do. Oh, look at that. My brush just fell apart. I can fix that later. Anyways, just trying to add some color and texture onto this wood. Just building it up, building it up. There, that looks a little bit more like it's the same wood now. And I'm going to come back to the oars. This is the Kuretake Gansai Tambi paints in the slime green box. If you go back just a few minutes, Joanne asked me the same question and I showed her the lid too. But what I do is I pick up the paint from the palette and I put it in, or pick up the paint from the tray and put it in my palette, and then I can mix further as I see fit. And I tend to use lots of fairly watered down paints, not too thick. And that's the one thing that I've heard people say about the Kuretake paints, is that okay, the Kuretake paints, if you actually lay them down too thick, they almost become like a high gloss, so you can't do any pencil work on top of them. So I've never run across that problem myself, but I don't tend to lay these paints down in heavy layers at all. So where was I? Ah, yes. I was just going to touch up some of these, the little squares. Just darken those edges and they'll look a little crisper. The color will runs right up to the edge of them now. There we go. And then I'm gonna do some more work on those oars. Ting ting. That's my water. There we go. So I want the oars to be quite dark. I think in the end, I think they're almost going to be black. So now I'm just darkening them up a bit. At least these ones right here, because they'll be a little more, have more detail visually, because they're close. Closer than any of them over there, so I don't see any oars there. This is almost the same color as the masts, not quite. But again, I tend to mix my paints together to achieve different values and shades, tones, and especially if you use colors that are already on your page, when you mix them together, it's amazing how it all works. You know, I'd never necessarily want to use a straight black on this because it would look too stark. Ah, the Nouveau set. I don't have that one. I decided to go with this one first because it had more, I found at the time, and I think I got it on sale, that it was a better value because it was a little bit bigger set, and it had some more of the colors that I lean towards using in my coloring books and in my art. I like the bright colors. The Art Nouveau set is beautiful. Those soft pinks, and that would have been really nice in this for me to use like for portraits, which I think there's some colors in there that you can certainly use for skin tones. In this particular set, the skin tones are not as available. You got a rose beige and kind of a creamy ivory. But what I have done instead of using watercolor paints on some of my other pages, this one I did use a mix of the pink and the beige. But I've used the Crayola Colors of the World watercolor stubbies, and then I've used them to base the skin, and then I use watercolors or other items to finish them. Give them more shading and shape. So there you go. And I think that, yes, this is working out just nice. The paddles are dark, not black, but nice and dark, getting there. Yeah, it's almost like a dark taupey brown that I'm putting on here right now, with the mix of the blue gray, the darker blue gray. I forget the name of it right at the moment. Here's my charts. Hold on. It's the blue gray deep. Yes, blue gray deep. I was mixing in with some of my other browns, probably mostly the raw umber deep in this set. But they're very nice. I like them. Ah. Yes, you're a bit of a watercolor hoarder too, aren't you, Joanne? Yes. Lots of small, light applications. You don't need to drown your page in water. I did do a nice application of water on it to do the two sections of the sky and well, actually more than that. Based all of these in the basic colors of where I wanted things. And especially in the sky area and in the water area, I used more water. But very little of that actually got near the spine. Right? So that probably helps too. The method I was using that had the most water was basically away from the spine. I'm almost out of paint here, or this brown, which is good because I just got that last oar to do. Yeah, you never want to hurry through your watercolor process. And look at how these masts have turned out. They've dried really quite nicely as shadows behind the sails. That's turned out good. I like that. Might need to water this one down a little bit more. It's a little too intense. But hey, I can, let's try that. Let's try that. So if you've never done it before, you can try and erase small watercolor mistakes or dull them down by just adding a little bit of water. There, see the difference between that one and the next one? I'll do it again. You'll be able to tell much better. So see the difference between those two and those two. I've just faded these ones back a little bit more. Do it again. A little water. Give it a little bit of rub. I don't want to ruin the paper. Dab it up. And because it's kind of just an image behind the sail, if it's not quite perfect, that's okay because it was a kind of a shadow on the sail to start with. And with the moving and the sun and the wind and all that, there we go. So lighten that up quite a bit. And it's still a little wet because I added some water, so it's going to lighten up even more. Like that. Coming along, coming along. Now, yes, you hoard lots of art supplies. Oh, Joanne, you're so funny. So let me see, what am I going to do next? I added some more in there. It's not too bad. I could probably do a little more detail. Maybe I'll do some more do some more of the blue water I've got going on over here. So let me just pull this over. Pull that over a little bit. You share a lot, Joanne. I have said that about you many times. I even said it earlier. I think before you got here, I was talking about how you share. But I didn't want to embarrass you in front of everybody. So, but yes, Joanne is a very lovely lady, and she has shared lots of things with me. Okay, where's this is what I'm, so I'm going to add a little bit more of the blue here, some more water effects. Cleaning up some of the tray a little bit. I do go and clean it eventually, but I try and use up, what I can. I don't have much of a plan of what I'm doing here. I'm just following some of the lines that they've got, which is their interpretation, I think, of flowing waves. Put some back in here. There's some white water there. But in this one, define that a little bit more, that wave. The splash, I guess. These marks in here, a little more in this one. Doesn't matter if it's perfect, because hey, we got lots of layers to go. That's right. Curator. Yes. You're a curator of your own books and supplies. So yeah, so I'm just trying to add some more, like another layer here of blue, which will fade out. Just more and more and more. And I'm just using up what I got in my palette right at the moment, because I haven't given it a good wash for a while. And I'm thinking I need to go and give it a good clean before I go away. Not that the paint is wasted, because watercolor paint always dries up in these babies. But I'm thinking that my color choices might be restricting me in a little bit on my pages. Go. Yeah, it does, Joanne. Took a while for us to find each other, but we finally did. We finally did. We've met a few times for some good coffee, and that's always fun. And then I ran into her one day in the bookstore too, so. Haven't seen her in the art store yet. Mind you, I don't think that I've gone to that art store that Joanne goes to lately. I haven't bought a lot of art supplies. All right. Coming along, coming along. Well, it's getting close to that time, people. I've been on for just about an hour and a little more than an hour and a half now. I guess I came on a little later than 3. So as I said, I just wanted to kind of come on and let you know that I was doing this live today and I wouldn't be around on Sunday to do any more painting. But keep your eyes peeled. You might see some other videos coming up. Yeah, that's right. We met on Dee Dee's stream and then realized we were in the same place. I think we were both a little hesitant at first to kind of tell everybody where we were. Because, you know, you never know, right? You never know. So, yeah, we met in a public place. Met in a public place. No fear of that. Thank you, Ivy. You have a great day, too. Thanks for stopping by. And when I see you on again, I'll stop by. I always try and pop in when I can on people while they're streaming. If I can't stay long, I'll at least come in for a bit and say hi. Always helps, eh? So you take care. So yeah. And then I had, I think I was telling you about my little Etsy shop where I sell vintage stuff. So what the other day I had a World Red Cross feeding cup. And if you're not familiar with what those are, they look like little teapots, except the handle's not at the back where the pour spout is. The handle's on the side, so that if this was, and this is my coffee, if this was the feeding cup, the spout is actually facing this way, so that the person can be drinking their soup or whatever out of the feeding cup. And this one was probably from the 40s or 50s. It did have a Red Cross ceramic mark on it, and it had a little bit of gold paint too. And that went to the States. And then the other thing that I was doing today is I had a purse that went off to L.A. I had to get that ready to go before I left, because I like to get my customers' shipments out as soon as possible. If not the day they order, if they order early enough in the day, to the next day. That is where I try, though I do have a 1 to 3 day shipping on my site. I like to try and get it done in one, that day or the next. All right, so I've added a little more color on some of these, and you'll see as I keep going and adding more and more blue to each of these lines and stripes, they'll all start looking different. And then we'll probably get in there with some gel pens and maybe some metallics. We'll see. Definitely, I want to try some opalescent stuff. Maybe on the water. Not sure. Anyways, I think that's going to be it for today. I've used up my paint. My water needs a good change. So I've got a little bit further on my, what I'm calling the Red Sails page in Fine Color by Gugeli. I want to say thank you to everybody for stopping by. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you for Thank you for stopping by, and if you're new here, thank you for just stopping by and seeing me, and if you've been here before, thanks for coming by again. You're put up with me more than once. Thank you very much. You'll be live tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Thank you, Ivy. I'll see if I can stop by. I'm going to have to get some laundry stuff done before I go leave at 5 a.m. on Friday morning. But I'll be looking for you. If I don't see you live, I will catch your replay as I will with anybody. And so for everybody, please have a great day. Take care of your loved ones. Give them all a hug and a kiss because you never know. You never know. Thanks again. Bye all.